It's the only problem with powerful lights. They give quite the glare.
Yeah. Woo. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And we are live.
We were talking about glare, and I think I'm keeping up with you. I never even worry about it.
As long as it's not too bad, I just roll with it, you know?
Yeah. Uh-oh, Zen found you.
Yep.
Ooh. Zen, the super mod herself?
Yep. The
Hey,
supermod herself.
She's been waiting.
She has been. People probably they've been wondering if I'm even still alive at this point. I've been around in a while.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, and I think when you did that live from that fish swaps the last time I saw you.
That is about right. I was actually looking on my YouTube studio not too long ago. I think it's been 60 days since I've last done something. I've been all over except here. I've been everywhere except here.
So you gonna venture across the state next weekend?
Gonna try to. Long story short, with as it always is when I'm off on this kind of stuff.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Like with the day job and such as a sports writer. So my editor, actually, he and his wife just had a baby not too long ago on Christmas Day of all things. On top of it,
Nice.
and obviously he's on parental leave, so I'm the only one writing sports stories for right now, which, as you can imagine, oh my goodness, is quite a load. Getting through it just fine, but it takes a lot of time away from this as well. But if not this time, I think Davenport has another one in either February or March. Definitely going to make at least a couple this year because, yeah, I miss this. I need to get back on this again. I miss this.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday, and I think we got a big old crowd going to the one in April.
April usually is a pretty good-sized event.
Yeah.
It's like right when it's all warming up, so people are itching to get out of the house and do stuff.
Yep. That's what I figure. I don't know if I'm going to venture that far when it's snowing outside.
Oh, there was one time where we did go all the way to Davenport, like a day after a blizzard, and the roads, granted, were pretty cleared after the day after. But yeah, a lot of people buzzed out of it because of all the snow, because it snowed 7-8 inches the day before.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get here in all Iowa. Sometimes the winter's calm, other times it'll just out of nowhere drop 7 inches on you.
Yeah.
We got the same thing here. I went to a KU game on a Saturday night, and it was about 60 degrees that afternoon, and we came out of that game at 10:30 at night, and there was 2 foot of snow on my truck. And I was just like, oh, awesome. It's only a 5-hour drive home.
Right?
That's like when I moved to Iowa, when I moved to Cedar Rapids, it was raining that day. The next morning, there was a foot of snow on the ground.
Yep, that's Iowa. I think 2 or 3 years ago while I was living here in Council Bluffs, we had a day, I kid you not, where I think mid-late morning, the tornado sirens were going off with rain, and it was maybe high mid-40s at that point. It was kind of crazy. You would think that temperature would be too cold for a tornado, but high winds and such, and then later that evening, about 8-9 p.m., we're getting snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, that's like right now. They were earlier this afternoon. There was 3 tornadoes touched down in Arkansas. Yeah.
Well,
And then they were going to get a cold front moving in behind them.
Yeah, they had to get all the leaves blown out of there so they could drop that snow on there.
All I'm saying is I'm glad I'm not a meteorologist because, man, I feel like I'd be better off trying to draw some Powerball numbers and trying to predict the weather sometimes.
Oh, my. I think right now they're at the point where they're just throwing darts at the map going, yep, this is going to happen here. This is what it's going to be.
There's a meme floating around in Instagram where this guy's like, here's my weather map for the United States, and some little kid had taken a crayon and just
Yeah, pretty much.
Colors, and it was just like, yeah.
Hey, it's good seeing you again, Austin. It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, it's been longer than I like. That's for sure. It's been a lot longer than I've liked getting back on here. That's for sure.
Have you had any changes in the fish room or anything?
A few, real, not a whole lot. Obviously, well, I will say, I mean, after my Fahaka Finley passed, I did kind of, I don't want to say I walked away from the hobby for a bit, more like kind of toned down, took a little bit of a
hiatus
down from it a little bit. Yeah, a little hiatus. That's a good way to put it. Other than, water changes and feeding, the basics. But part of it was just, I mean, part of it was also just a matter of like, okay, well, I mean, now what? Where do we go from here? And I mean, obviously, I knew that I wasn't gonna stop doing fish. That wasn't really, it wasn't heavily considered, but just kind of like. But obviously, when you're working on a project that was for her, and you had a big plan of it for, that year, it kind of makes you like, well, why am I even building this now? Because the reason is gone. But I know right before I kind of took this long hiatus. I mentioned once that I do plan to, at some point, finally start building it again. Honestly, even I wish it was done at this point. I had planned for it to be done well before this point, but really since she passed, I haven't even touched it, honestly. But I got rambling there. I forgot what your initial question was.
Oh, you just had changes in the fish room.
Oh, that's right. Other than that, her 150, I'm getting it ready for my cross river puffer, which they don't grow quite as big as a Fahaka, but they can still get over a foot. So I'm sure he will still love that space compared to the
I imagine.
he's in. But not a ton really, other than just adding a couple of plants here and there. Not much has really even changed with the 510 year, other than Mac here, of course. Gotta bring this close here. Big old Embu puffer. He is well over a foot now. I think last time I measured him, he was about 13, 14 inches now. He's getting up there.
He looks like he's hungry.
He's always hungry. Clams, krill. I'm trying to introduce him to silver sides now, too. And tell you what, that big old boy, the bigger he gets, the less picky he gets. He'll put, I think he'd take my finger if I put it right in front of him.
Yeah. Probably.
I was
might not get it back. My hand might look like that one of these times when I'm on YouTube or something. And if so, you guys will know why.
Yeah. I heard Corey say one time he would catch his with a trash can and make sure the head was at the bottom of the can.
Yes.
When he caught Murphy?
Yeah, so when he's carrying it, there's no mouth up there.
I do the same thing. Well, something similar to that with Finley, my Fahaka, because, I mean, before she passed, she was like 15. Just when I measured her right before burying her, she was like maybe eighth of an inch or so, maybe a little bit more than that, away from 16 inches. She was another one where it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to get bit by her either, because if she got you just right, no guarantee you come out with 10 fingers, probably.
Right.
She was big enough you might lose more than one.
That's possible, too. She had quite the jaw on her, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like Murphy before, Corey lost him, and then he turned around and he lost the other one, too.
Ladybird, too?
Yeah, he lost Murphy and then Ladybird.
Within like 2 months?
Shoot, I'm out of the circle. Yeah, I obviously knew about Murphy, but I did not know about Ladybird.
Yeah, he lost them both.
Ouch.
And he just built that Gigondo tank.
Yep.
In his addition.
That massive tank for that addition they're doing. Yeah, it was for Murphy, and then Murphy died. Okay, we're going to move Ladybird. Well, now he moved. Didn't he move his turtle or something into there?
Yeah, he's got his Fly River turtle in it.
I'd say, I mean, you could always get another one, but it don't take long for them Embus to start growing.
Yeah. Especially when you put it in an environment that's 20 by 20.
Yeah. Give it in that space, yeah, they'll grow like a weed.
on, Jimmy. You got anything?
He's being funny and shut his mic off, or what?
Yep, I think so.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Jimmy. Come on.
He muted himself again. It's not even New Year's. He's not even drinking.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
I think I heard him.
I don't know.
Never mind. I don't.
Yeah. How big's the one at the Tennessee Aquarium? 2 foot?
Chattanooga Ed was here. He'd probably be able to tell us. I know he's been there a few times.
Yeah, I think he went again recently.
Yeah, probably.
There's none of those in Council Bluffs, is there? The closest one's Henry Dorley.
Yeah, not an Embu puffer. I mean, Henry Dorley does have, well, they call it a cross river, but I look at it like, I think you just got a little off-color Fahaka is all they got, because it looks nothing like my cross river. But it's got more of those stripes rather than the spots, but still a big one, still easily a foot big, but no Embu puffers.
Huh. That's a pretty impressive place, though.
Yes, it is. The aquarium there, to me, by itself is worth the price of admission. Granted, the Desert Dome, I mean, all the other exhibits there, don't get me wrong, are phenomenal in their own right, but the aquarium there, too, I mean, I can literally, my wife would tell you there's been time I just sit in the shark tunnel they have there, which is probably as long, if not longer, than my house. So it is spectacular.
So it'd be like Jeremy's 4,400 gallon.
No.
Oh, this
aquarium domain.
Way more than 4,400. I can probably hundreds of thousands of gallons potentially.
Yeah, because there's like 20-foot sharks swimming in it.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
There are a couple of sea turtles. They got some, I think they're called horse-eyed jacks is what they're called. Big old fish that's like bigger than my laptop here. I mean, they got some fish here that are bigger than some of my aquariums. I mean, this 5'10" behind me is 8 feet. So,
have you even seen that new aquarium that aquarium domain Jeremy's built? That 4,400 gallon.
Oh yes, and I am greatly envious.
30 feet long.
Oh man, I want to say it's almost 35, ain't it? Like
no, it's like 32.
Like 4,500 gallons. Like, good Lord, that's like a swimming pool, literally.
Yeah. Well, yesterday he was aquascaping his new saltwater tank, and he had it full of water, and then he drained it, and he was filling it again. It was like, you know what my old lady would say if I dumped 3,000 gallons of water and then I turned around and filled it back up.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like you did what?
Yeah.
How many pounds of freaking salt did he say he was going to have to put in that, Curtis? I don't remember.
Oh gosh, it's got to be like what, 500 pounds at least?
He had a whole pallet of it sitting there. Man.
Oh my God. Really?
It's 3,000 gallon.
Yeah. Well, he bought like a dozen 100-pound boxes of that base rock, and he didn't even make a dent in that tank.
That 3,000 gallon tank.
Well,
found Jeremy, or yeah, whatever his name is. Yeah, aquarium domain.
Yeah, Jeremy.
I thought so.
There's an idea for your tank that you're home making. Do some kind of saltwater tank.
I do have a couple of brackage tanks, but I never done the full-on marine. Initially, my 185 bow front, where I got Oscars and silver dollars in, was going to be a saltwater tank. My wife wants a porcupine puffer so bad, but frankly, I kind of do too. They have the cutest little eyes if you ever see them, but it's, I don't know what it is. It's not that I don't like the idea of saltwater. It's just, boy, you look at the price of some of the freshwater fish, and then you look over at the saltwater. It's just, whew.
I can buy 50 of these for the price of that one.
Exactly.
Probably the cheapest saltwater fish is that blue damsel, and they're still like $15. That's like the guppy of the saltwater world. A little tiny fish is $15.
uncle who breeds angelfish up in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and does a lot of plants like crypts, valves, that stuff like that. He said that he gave saltwater a try, and he told me there's a test before you do saltwater. He said the test is light a $100 bill on fire. If it bothers you, you're not ready for saltwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Curtis had salt water at one time.
Yeah. It was kind of a monster fish tank too, though, because it was a lionfish and a Niagara trigger. So those two big boys swimming in there. You didn't need any little fish because you were just feeding them anyway.
Yeah, those are some big ones right there.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yep, I hear you.
Okay. Lionfish. I came across a guy, I forget his name, on YouTube, and all he does is go around and kill lionfish in the wild. I think it's somewhere where they're invasive or something. Yeah. Something's going on.
Probably.
But he's killing
dozens and dozens of them. The state of Florida pays you for them when you bring them to the dock.
Okay, that maybe that's where he's at, because that's all he was doing, and man, he was getting them, boy.
They're making money just like them crazy guys out there catching in bulk in the swamp. Not me.
Not me either. Boa constrictor.
Yeah, well,
I'm not with it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I saw him the other day. He's using one of those, spears with the 3 tips on it. What's that called?
A gigger.
Yeah, and he's got like a little bag on this. He's got a little bag on that's got a little trap door, and he just shoves it down in there. And when he pulls out the spear, it stays in the bag. And he's just going around smacking all these guys. Crazy.
There you go. Jody P knows what it is. It's a trident.
Trident, that's right. Thank you. My brain shuts down at 5:00. I'm sorry.
Hey, for some people that's pretty good. Some people are sooner.
Well, getting it started up again in the morning, Austin, that's the problem.
I concur with that. I can totally understand that.
Oh boy.
Embu puffer behind me saying hello, and then I got a fire eel to my left.
Have you added any fish recently?
I have, actually. So at some point, I do have some clips. I was finally starting to work on another video. One of our local fish stores here in Iowa recently expanded, almost doubled the size of his store, and it's a very unique place. Without talking your ears off too much about it, long story short, it's some guy that, basically has a shed, almost like a barn per se. It's the most Iowan thing ever, right there by itself. I know, but long story short, he has this shed on his property, right by his house, that he turned into a fish store, and he just doubled the size of it, added 4 180s, 6 125s, loads of 60 breeders and 75s. I mean, he already had almost over 100 different tanks full of freshwater fish. So, and he's adding this. Okay. I think he's adding a pond where he's gonna have stingrays, arowanas, walrus in it, among other things.
Wow,
it's gonna be
sounds cool.
2,500 gallons or something. Yeah, I need to get the video edited so y'all can see it. But he, while I was there, I did get a couple of fish, namely some more tetras. I think Mac here, as the sneaky big guy, occasionally might be getting sneaky and might have been picking off some tetras here, which is weird. They'll swim right at him usually when I watch him, and he'll not even act like they're there. But I guess when the lights go off, different him. But
yeah, could be.
There.
Jody is also in Iowa, and she would like to know the name of that store.
Oh, Jody. It is called The Fish Fix. He is located in Thayer, Iowa. I've featured the store a couple times on my channel already. It's It's actually where I got my Embu puffer here when he was about the size of a young platy or something. He was not very big when I bought it from him.
Wow.
It's where I got all my pea puffers for my 75 hex, which is riddled with algae right now. I need to scrub it something fierce. But I've gotten a lot of stuff from him, and the best part is when I buy stuff from him, the reason why I don't get fish a whole lot as much as I used to, they last. They don't get sick. I put them in the tank, and for the most part, I just admire them.
He quarantining them?
He does quarantine them. Puffers especially.
That's a good thing then.
Yeah.
He makes sure they're dewormed, free of parasites and such, before he even lets them go on the floor. Obviously, a few slip through the cracks, but I mean, when I got this, I also got my Cross River from him too. He's over a foot big now. I got him. He was a little bit bigger. He was 6 inches when I bought it from him, but a lot of these bigger puffers I bought from him, they last.
That's awesome. That's great.
That's rare to find nowadays too.
Yeah. Next time I'm around up there, I'm going to have to check that out.
He does ship anywhere in the mainland United States too.
Yeah.
Pacific to Atlantic coast, as long as you're not in Alaska or Hawaii or whatever, or any territories, he will ship anywhere in the mainland United States too.
Well, Jody, since you're a mod, you can throw that website up in the chat.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend it, Jody. His store is awesome.
He has a pretty wide variety then.
He's got a big Embu puffer too. That's probably about the size and a half of mine too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have to
got a pretty wide variety, Austin.
Very wide. Cichlids, live bears, tetras, barbs, puffers, betas, goldfish, koi. African cichlids, South American cichlids, angelfish. He's shrimp. He's gotten on those. I've seen mud skippers in his store before. He's got a wide variety.
Well, it just so happens that if the weather clears and the roads are clear, I'll at least be in Kansas City next weekend.
He is more in the south central part of Iowa, so it probably wouldn't be too far. If you're in Kansas City, it might still be about 3 hours, though.
I'm meeting my boy there to take him his dog that I got, and he lives in Des Moines, so maybe me and him will run over there.
Well, if you're in Des Moines, then yeah, you're maybe 45 minutes away.
Nice. I know I'll be in Des Moines in April. Because that's how I'm going to cheat to go to the Quad Cities. I'm going to go to his house, stay for free, go to the swap, and then come back and stay at his house and then come home. So mainly just gas money.
Right. Hey, I hear you. It's more and more people are starting to go to that Quad City fish swap too. And first time I went to it, I said this is like a mini Aquashella. It is something else.
Yeah. Yeah, because what is his name? T&M Aquatics.
T&M Aquatics. I should know that name, but I don't. Right now.
Tom Inler.
That might be it.
Does a lot of plecos and cories, high dollar breeding. He was telling me that one morning, and it was one of the spring or summer ones. Within the first 2 hours, there's over 5,000 people.
Holy cow!
Yeah. Holy cow.
They only go for 4 hours, but they get plenty of traffic and business.
Yeah, I've seen the videos.
I know I've gone live there. I've done a video before too. It's fun. I have a good time every time.
Yeah. Zen Ginger says that fish store is on Fish Fam Link.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
That's even easier.
There we go. Yeah, I didn't know all that. He was on there too. I know he does shorts and all that, but I keep telling him, you do videos and such, kind of like, because he's always asking there too. Or it's like, well, you're the one with a couple of thousand on there. And last time I saw him, it's like, I don't know why you're asking me. Right now my strategy is not very good. I haven't put a video out in 6 months. That's not a very good strategy. but long story Sure. I tell them like, well, tell you what, shorts right now, or even if you just talk for a minute about a certain fish, feature a fish. I mean, we have a store here in Omaha, Fish Freaks, half of my namesake on the channel here, that was doing them for a while. And I tell you what, even when they do those 1 minute shorts, just kind of talking about a certain fish species, even if it's a basic like cardinal tetra, it got so much attention and it gets people in your door. It lets you know that you're there.
That or if he wanted to do unboxing videos of all this crazy stuff he's getting.
Yep.
I know Corey did that once in a while.
And then somebody like me would know, hey, he just got that in stock. Now I have his link and I can order it and he can ship it to me.
Right. There ain't much that man can't get.
Yeah. Or I can just go by there.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you see on his website, too, is what he'll have in the store, too.
Nice.
Unless it's in the back. If it's in the back, still being quarantined, he doesn't always put it on there.
Yeah, I see that. So any other plans like a Aquashella or the Clash or
for 2025? Definitely going to make try to make at least a couple of the Quad City swaps. Going to try to make the Clash. I said that now for like the last 2 years. It seems like every time though, right before the Clash, the last 2 years, just something life related has just gone totally awry. That just makes it impossible. It's been frustrating because I know so many people go there, and I know this year they already got quite a list. I think they just released who's all coming and all that. In fact, we were just talking about Corey. I believe he's one of the guys that are going. But
he's a speaker.
Yeah, I believe that's right. Yeah, the speakers list. I mean, definitely want to get over there. Part of the reason I also want to get over there is because my wife has never seen the ocean. I've seen the Atlantic twice myself. Once from like the New England part of the country, like by DC and Philadelphia and such, where, and also by like not Orlando, but around that area. Yeah. She's never seen it. So, I mean, I figure, well, for like, I think it's Morgantown, Pennsylvania, I think is where this usually is. Something like that.
It's like an hour from Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, you're not too far away from that coast. So it's like, well, if we're already over there, because I think drive-wise, it's like 17, 18 hours from here in Iowa. It's like, well, if you're driving 18, you just as well add one more.
Yeah, might as well.
I would love to fly, but man, I would feel restricted on what I could buy for fish then.
There's enough people there that I know that if you bought something, you could hand it to them and say, I'm going to be home in 3 days. Ship me this.
True.
And they would do it.
Yeah, starting to get some of those at the Omaha swaps now too. And that slowly keeps getting bigger. But I keep telling all our local fish stores we need to combine to a convention. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess technically 5 stores that sell fish in Omaha. A couple of them also do reptiles and such, which I personally am not that big into. I'm not a reptile guy, but I'm like, if we put even half of those together, the convention we could do in Omaha would be crazy. But I mean,
I've said that for a long time, that all of these big, it's in Orlando, it's in Dallas. Why is there not one in Omaha, Kansas City, right in the freaking center?
I've never even heard of a convention in Kansas City.
No, but they have the places to do it at.
Yeah, I mean,
they got an international airport, all of that. No reason they can't.
Is Epley international? Epley's a big airport. I'm not sure if it's international. I know it goes national, but I'm not sure if Epley in Omaha is international or not. It might be. I'm not sure, but we got plenty of big enough convention centers. I mean, shoot, the arena where the Blue Jays play, they got a convention center connected right to that. Put her in there.
Yeah.
Plenty of parking there. And you're right by downtown Omaha and such, getting like by restaurants and such.
And I think you would still pull like Minnesota, Illinois, Ohio. You'd pull a bunch of states.
Missouri. I mean, Missouri's not far.
Arkansas.
Kansas, maybe. But
yeah, I'd go.
Topeka is like maybe 3 hours from here.
Yeah. Yeah, my son lives in Topeka. My other son.
otherwise, I mean, plan wise, just at some point, finally, I'll get that plywood tank going again. That's my number one goal this year is get that done because I've always wanted to build a plywood tank, and I'm not gonna lie. After seeing Jeremy's, I know we were talking about it earlier. 4,500 is it? I believe it is
44. Yeah.
44. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably not gonna be done while I live in this house because I just don't have the space to build such a thing. I have been researching away. Like, man, I want to figure up a way to surpass the 4 digits. I want to make a tank that gallon-wise is in the 5s. I don't know if that's actually a realistic or feasible thing with plywood. I feel like maybe good Lord, you'd need a thick piece of glass that you might need a crane for, but it's...
Well, you could do like he did. That's not one big sheet of glass. That's like 4 big windows.
Right. I mean, I'm even talking about the thickness it would have to be to hold that kind of water capacity. It would have to be super thick, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I know part of that is also with the depth that you would make the aquarium, but
2-inch thick acrylic or something.
I
don't know.
Big old chunk of bulletproof grass.
I heard somebody talking the other day, and I can't remember the channel, but the guy built a giant tank like that, but he used tubing, like stainless steel tubing, to build the frame. And then he lined that with plywood and fiberglass, but holding all that together, it was welded together.
Yeah, that'd be plenty strong enough.
Yeah.
With a welder, absolutely. That probably would be the better way to do it once you start tickling more around that 5,000 range.
Well, isn't that what, I don't know how many gallons of ones that Ohio Fish Rescue just got, them steel ones, but
oh shoot,
that's what those are.
Yeah.
All steel frame.
I need to watch them again too. I ain't had my fix of Big Rich in a while.
Well, you know Foxy and Peplin, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. See them a lot when I do go to the Quad City swap and such.
The other thing about the Clash is they're getting married there.
Oh, really?
That's where that's where the ceremony is.
That is adorable. That's awesome.
That should be crazy.
That should be, yeah. I almost got to make it like, shoot, now that I know that, it's like, well, shoot, I really got to get over there.
Yeah. The only other big show, and I've been trying to talk everybody into going, is in San Antonio in June. It's like the Triple Crown.
Okay.
It's the Killies, the Cichlids, the Live Bears, the Bettas, all in one spot.
Ooh. Betas now will Betas will is one of my wife's weak spots. Them and goldfish.
Yeah, I've seen that in some of your live streams.
It's like I say, well, you know what? She lets me do the whole basement with whatever I want. So it's like, you know what? If I give her right now, I have 2 tanks with goldfish, 1 with the beta. It's like out of the nearly 20 tanks I have, if I can please her with just putting some fish she likes and 3 of them, happy wife, happy life. Good answer.
There you go. My wife's all into crafts, so we got this little thing goes back and forth because she bought like a Cricut one, and it's one of the high dollar ones. It does leather design, and I was like, man, that thing looks like it's worth about 6 tanks. You know, just to make it fair. Right. And later she came home with a printer where she can make the labels to make shirts and stuff, and it's like, oh, that looks like a few more tanks.
There's another 4.
Yeah, there's another 4. She never says nothing either. She's used to me.
She occasionally gives me ideas and such. Like she was talking about, like, well, if you build this plywood tank, what about a Stingray? Because she and I both have been. That was something that I don't know if I'm going to get to this year, but man, in the near future, Fish Freaks, even in Omaha, they had a couple of huge Matoros, and I mean, beautiful things. They even had a couple of pups while they had them.
Wow.
Which is crazy to me because the biggest show tank they have is about 300 something, which for 2 of them, I know you'd maybe like it to be a little bit bigger for Matoros, but I mean, it's not horrible. It's got some custom dimensions to it that kind of accommodate them. But
yeah,
at some point, it's also why I'm like, when I was done with this plywood tank that I was initially building for my Fahaka, I wanted to go ahead and try to build one that was like 1,000 gallons or something. And I always talked about some sort of stingrays. I personally like the Matoros. My wife likes the Black Diamonds because, of course, they're a few $100 more. Why wouldn't she? But it's a shame, too, that arowanas around here, it's hard to get the variation other than the Jardinis and probably the silvers. I guess there's one technically called a black just because it has a black fin. But in a perfect world, if I know here in America it's not legal to do so, but if for some reason it got lifted and the not range, but the selection perhaps surpassed, I would love to get a mostly white arowana and then like a mostly black arowana for like that yin yang thing with stingrays. I think that and a 1,000-gallon plywood tank would be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Huh. Well,
I think Jimmy fell asleep on us.
I was wondering if
No, I'm here.
picture of a kitty, but
probably out mowing the grass or something.
No, I'm here.
We're out here scraping ice,
Mowing the grass.
Yeah.
Not hardly.
I just looked out and it's snowing again.
Yeah, I told you it snowed here till about noon. Austin, we're like 6 hours apart in Kansas. I'm on the west side, he's on the east side. So whatever I got like this morning, he got this afternoon.
Yep.
Goes right.
Curtis will say, "Hey, we got a big thunderstorm just rolling through. It's headed your way."
have fun.
About 3 hours later, here it is.
Yeah.
I'm with only Oscar. It's like, what's legal got to do with what I want? I love it.
Exactly. Yeah. You're right, June.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I look no further than what Joey had for King of DIY with those red Asian arowanas that he had. Ooh, those were pretty. I wouldn't have minded those either.
I don't know if he's even got one of them anymore.
I don't think he does. Sadly, I think they've all passed since.
I tell everybody if the Chanas were legal, I'd have one of those.
Can't have them in Texas either. Holy cow!
Can't have arowanas in Texas.
Probably because they'll live in their waters.
Probably.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, they're probably not going to live in the lakes and rivers around here during the winter.
I mean, obviously, piranhas are illegal in some states.
Yeah.
They're illegal in Nebraska, to what I understand, but they're not illegal here in Iowa.
They're not here either.
I never fully understood that logic either. It's like, you can have them in Iowa, but not Nebraska. Well, do you think it's that big of a climate change? I mean, it's I don't fully understand it, I guess. But Nebraska seems drier than Iowa too, because once you really get past like Lincoln or Grand Island, it kind of gets a little more desert-like over there.
Yeah, it turns into the plains.
I always say once you get past Grand Island and all that, all you're looking forward to is getting to Colorado.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, but that I-80 when you're going west out there, I don't know that a speed limit exists.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
380 is just as bad.
There's nobody there, and the one cop for the next 500 miles is busy, so.
The speed limit, my wife and I will both tell you, the speed limit is more of a suggestion. Like, this is the minimum you should be driving.
Yeah. I know I was doing 80 on I-80 and getting passed by semis. They just had the hammer down going.
Yeah, I mean, you could be going 80 or something on that interstate when you get past like Grand Island such, and trucks sometimes still going by you.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it was on 380.
Which way does 380 go? Is that a north-south?
Yeah. I know if I was still in Iowa, where I lived at, I could walk out my front door and see the Quaker Oats plant. on the other side of the Cedar River.
When I walk out, all I see is
they get the ice so thick they go out there with dynamite and blast it just to get it to flow through the dam.
Well, that'd be interesting.
That'd actually be kind of fun to watch, actually.
It was. You see city workers go down there, they'd drive the truck down by the bank, then they'd get out and they'd be carrying a box and go over there, drill a bunch of holes, and they'd drop these things in there and they'd be rolling the wire back out, and then boom!
That's crazy.
That'd be fun to watch. I mean, at least if you hear explosions and such, I mean, oh man.
Well, yeah, there'd be kids down, I don't know, probably 30, 40 feet from there. They'd be out there ice skating, and they'd be like, get off the ice, get off the ice. And they're like, why? Because we're going to blow it up. Blow it up? Yeah.
That's crazy.
We were having fun on it. Why do you want to blow it up, man?
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy stuff. They'd be snowmobiles blasting down through the parks.
Yeah, my son went to college at that little college in Storm Lake.
Oh, what is that?
Buena Vista.
Oh yeah, the Beavers. That's right.
Yeah, he was sending me pictures, and he's like, the first snow when he's a freshman, and there were more snowmobiles in the parking lot than there was vehicles.
Oh, I bet so.
Everybody was just riding their snowmobiles to school, and he'd show me pictures of out in front of Walmart. There's snowmobiles and stuff sitting out there. Like, yeah, why not?
I grew up at a school that was out in the middle of corn and bean fields here. I know, most Iowan thing ever. But occasionally if it snowed and such and we didn't get the snow day, I'd have classmates that would actually take their tractors to school. Mm-hmm. It'd be fun. It'd be the funniest thing to see sometimes. And I think someone even once took a picture of like, yeah, you know, you're in a small Iowa school when you got your classmates driving their John Deeres to get to class.
Yeah.
And then the topic of the discussion was like, Caterpillar, you should be driving a John Deere, or vice versa. It never did that myself because, well, I helped certain families with farms, but never lived on a farm.
That's why I like them little towns. There's one probably 10 miles from where I work, and it's legal to ride your ATVs and whatever. You know, you see people going to the store and everything in their little four-wheelers.
Oh, yeah, they do it here all the time.
Oh, you can't do it here. Not where I live.
They can here.
I see some, like, Polaris Razors getting driven around occasionally here in Council Bluffs, but my hometown of Minden there in Iowa, yeah, ATVs were pretty regular. John Deere Gators, Razors, four-wheelers. As long as you could go, as long as they could do the speed limit without impeding traffic, they didn't bat an eye at you.
We got golf carts running around here. They tell you as long as they've got brake lights and headlights, they can drive them.
Yep. Oh, yeah, brake lights, headlights too, and as long as they don't impede the traffic too much. If they slow you way down, then chances are you're probably going to get told, hey.
We got a guy that runs around here every once in a while. He's built one of them racing lawnmowers. And you'll see him flying down freaking Main Street on that thing at like 30, 40 mile an hour.
That'd be awesome.
I got pulled over on mine because where I live, about 2 blocks from here is a gas station. Well, it holds 5 gallons. So like, shoot, I'm just going to drive over there and fill it up. And he got me on the way back. He's like, I'm not going to write you a ticket. He says, but legally, if you put that little triangular orange square or orange triangle.
Yeah, the slow vehicle thing on the back,
Yeah, he says you can drive it around as long as you got one of them on there. And I was just like, I was just doing it because I'm lazy and I didn't want to carry a gas can.
I did the same thing.
Yeah. And the thing runs 30 miles an hour, you know.
Well, yeah, that's not too bad.
She can't have piranha or arowana.
No piranha in Texas doesn't surprise me.
No. You really don't want them anyway. They're kind of boring.
Yeah, they're boring.
Yeah, I hear that unless you get like a big tank, And let's be honest, not all of us can get a 700-gallon tank like Joey can with glass and such. And frankly, I don't want to carry one. So, I mean,
yeah, and you get 200 of them to put in there.
Yeah, before they actually are worth keeping, to what I understand. It's just, if you want piranhas and such, get Exodon Tetras. Those things are way more fun.
Yeah, just don't put nothing else in there.
No.
No.
I tried even putting self-cloning crays in there briefly while I was trying to reset up a tank and such, because they were, that one tank, I don't know what it was, but there was something disease-wise in there that it's like, I'm not even going to put them in there, because I was raising up the self-cloning crays young, basically just to, keep that hunting aspect about my puffers. And those Exodons, man, they didn't shy away from anything, man. They'd still, I mean, if they didn't have those pinchers on there, it probably wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, they're a good predator. Mandy, you got to look up self-cloning crayfish too, because they're illegal in about half the United States.
Really? Now that one I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a lady, can't remember what state she was in, but she had her own little factory going in her basement, and we're selling them on like eBay all over the country. And the good old Fish and Game came and visited her.
They shut her down.
They arrested her.
Oh shit!
They arrested her, and they took all of her equipment, all the tanks, everything, and she had to pay like a $10,000 fine. It was in one of the fish magazines 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. I was just like, whoa.
Jeepers.
I bet she freaked out.
You're legal, I guess. Good Lord.
I bet
Yeah. Hey, Curtis.
I'm not keeping anything illegal. God bless it.
What exactly was she doing wrong, Curtis?
She was shipping them across state lines where they're illegal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just like California, you got to be really careful what plants you sell and a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah, there's somebody I was watching here a while back that was selling plants, and they showed up at his door asking to see what his inventory was, and he was showing them, and they said, well, you can't sell this, you can't sell this, you can't sell this. You can't ship this from here.
Yeah, I saw that too. S&S Aquatics or something like
that.
Yeah. They virtually shut him down too.
I don't know.
And he had no idea.
No.
Or another one of those things now that apparently you got to be careful with too.
Somewhat. They're going to make it where it's harder and harder to get a lot of stuff, it seems like.
Sadly.
The first time I drove out here to California from Missouri, they were stopping cars with out-of-state license plates about 10 miles, 20 miles across the border. And I didn't know they were going to do that. They stopped me, and they asked me if I had any houseplants in my car, because they saw that I was packed up. I had a lot of stuff in the back. It was a minivan, and everything checked out. And but before that, I said, "Now wait a minute. I got my dog in the back too. Now, if he's illegal, you got to tell him, okay?" Because he was about 150 pounds. That dog. And
but they were looking for house plants.
He was okay too.
Yeah,
house plants. Yes.
Yeah, because if you planted some out in your yard, they would take off. And
yeah, that was
crazy.
15 years ago. Yeah.
So I got a phone message.
Yes,
from
I did.
Somebody named Vibes wants to know when you're going to live stream again. Austin. Trick question.
Somebody's dog's going crazy.
I say someone's dog.
Speaking of dogs,
man.
Somebody's dog's lapping it up.
Whatever he is.
He's thirsty.
That's the first time I've seen that dog, Curtis.
Lay down. He's trying to get my fish. That's the one that
fishy.
That's the one that the goldfish splash water on him. He sticks his face down there to drink the water.
Oh, okay.
They splash him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he likes tank water. I don't care for the taste of it.
Yeah, my cats, they love the tank water.
Mine too.
Well, cats,
Yeah, I tried it
why
once.
try to
I didn't like
fish.
it too much.
They don't. They don't.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
Curtis was here
cats love it.
filming my
They
fish
do.
room, my cat kept getting up on top of the tank and watching everybody like, "What are you doing in here?"
Yeah, I got the evil eye from that cat. I've been to California 2 or 3 times. They never stopped me.
I've never been to California.
You're
And
not
no
missing
offense to
anything,
anyone
Austin. You
that-
stay where you're at.
I was about to say, like, and no offense to anyone, I really have no desire to go to California. Other than to maybe see the Winchester Mystery House. That'd be the only thing I'd want to see there.
About as far,
And Disneyland.
about as
Well,
far
there
as I
you
want to go. About as far west as I want to go is Vegas.
It was all right.
Yeah,
I feel like I'd like to at least see Vegas one time just to say I've seen it.
Yeah, I've been down the strip a few times.
it's the world's greatest people watching place.
Hey, that ain't no lie.
You think that you've seen a bunch of
that-
weirdos? You ain't seen nothing yet.
That or the LAX airport in LA. That'll get you. That'll give you a good show.
Never flew
Holy
in there.
mackerel! My God.
I'm presuming she's talking about Disneyland.
Maybe just go to the one in Florida. Then you
I've
get
been to that one. I've been
Yeah.
to Disney World in Orlando.
yeah,
and it's cool.
Then you get Busch Gardens.
I
and
went
all
to-
that.
Yeah, I went to Disneyland, but you got to spend more than one day there, and we
Oh
were
yeah,
only
you
there
almost
for
got to
one
spend
day.
a week.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Branson.
Yes.
To see everything, you got to be there at least a week.
Yeah.
I like Branson, but the problem I got with it is everything is so spread out.
Yes. Unfortunately. Oh no, June was actually talking about the Winchester Mystery House. Okay.
No surprise there, June, that you worked there.
I hear it is a wacky. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm not saying I believe in it. I'm not saying I don't believe in it. But obviously, there's some legends around the Winchester House. Some
They don't.
A lot.
haunting and such. Well, yeah, a lot. Let's just be real. You're right, a lot. But I don't know. Some things like that, they're just intriguing. When I hear it's haunted, supposedly, whether you believe it or not, it's automatically all of a sudden where I'm like, okay, I want to see that. And
Yeah.
we don't have too many things like that in Iowa, other than the Axe House in Villisca, which that's about the only thing to see in Villisca. And once you see it, it's like, okay, we're done here.
Yeah. Well, you need to go to Deadwood, South Dakota.
I've heard of that. Why is it? What is it about Deadwood again? Remind
Yeah,
me.
Deadwood. Yeah.
It's an old mining town.
Oh,
And the sheriff there built a hotel, and it's been on Unsolved Mysteries a few times. Where, like, if you spend the night and you put your shoes next to the bed, you get up the next morning and they're out in the hallway in front of somebody else's door. Stuff like that happening all the time.
Yeah.
And they have all these gold mines that you can go down and check out. It's right by Rushmore.
oh, really?
It's down the road. It's down the road from Rushmore.
I
Not
gotta
right
check
by
this
it.
place out at some point.
And
Wife
it's-
loves South Dakota, but she likes the Badlands. She thought Rushmore was only okay.
Deadwood's way up in the mountains. It's in a valley. But we had to go down and do all the mines, and it's a big gambling town now. That's what you stay there. You go see all the tourist traps, and then you go eat the buffets at the casinos. Because it's like all you can eat buffet for $10, and then don't gamble. Just leave and go see something else.
There you go. $10 for all I can eat. I mean, shoot, good luck finding that in most places.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Well, they're trying to drag you into the casino to get all your money in.
Right. Our casino here in Council
yeah.
Bluffs got a Guy Fieri restaurant.
Yeah.
Never been there yet because the food's way overpriced. So.
Oh yes.
I mean, $20 for a slab of ribs when I can just go to Cheddar's and get one for 15. But But hey, it's the Guy Fieri recipe. I do not care.
He's not that great a guy. I've actually met him.
Wow.
I saw him on a stage once for a concert.
Oh, have you?
I never met him.
Oh yeah. We competed at KCBS up here that one year. He was like 4 rows over from us. He's loud, arrogant. He's loud and arrogant. Oh my God. And then he didn't even place.
Well, that probably wasn't on his TV program, was it?
Oh no.
It's Gordon Ramsay anyway.
Oh, Gordon. Wow, there's a guy.
That's a very mild way of putting it. That is a guy.
Yeah.
There's a guy. I'd love to meet him.
June,
Yeah, he'd
June
be
must
all
have
right.
had some pretty crazy jobs because she says crazy things happen daily at Toys R Us now. What the hell?
There's still Toys R Us somewhere.
Oh boy,
I know.
June.
They said there's one right behind the
June
Winchester
needs to
house.
write a book. Really?
Frozen meals and they look like crap. Okay.
And they probably taste like it too, Nathan.
Well, most frozen meals look like crap to me, Nathan. There's a reason I don't go that route.
Yeah, me either.
They look like crap.
They used to be a lot better back in the
Probably
day.
gonna make you crap.
If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. eh,
It's probably duck.
It might be an otter.
Might be.
Tastes like an otter, maybe.
And probably. You never know what half of it's made out of.
Supposedly, I mean, did you know Ramsay apparently has a daughter that's studying to be a chef too? And
I didn't know he had any kids.
I didn't either.
He's got a daughter that is very big into cooking as well. And the ironic thing is, she hates his cooking. She apparently does not like it. So I sit here and wonder, like, I can only imagine the conversations that go around with the daughter dissing her father's food when he's a world-renowned chef of sorts. It's like, I would love to hear some of these conversations.
Oh, especially if she's got his attitude.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Back and forth in each other's face. Oh boy.
Yeah. It seems like she definitely has a little bit of his spunk as well, with what little I have seen.
Oh boy.
I have a feeling that would be quite the civil war. Fun for everybody else to watch, as long as you're a safe distance away.
Dad, it needs more salt.
No, it needs less. And probably, I mean, I don't even want to know of all the F-bombs getting dropped on that.
Oh my God.
Lay down, dude. Lay down.
There's a show with Hot Wings here on YouTube. Maybe you guys have heard of it, called Hot Ones, that Ramsay was actually on once too. He's actually been on it twice.
Yep.
I think Fieri was on it too. It always seems to be fun when they bring on these folks. And Ramsay went on so many F-bombs. They actually, before brought him back for a certain Christmas special, went back and counted the number of bombs he dropped on this first episode. And apparently they said it was like 47 or so. It's an hour-long show, mind you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not too bad.
So one every time he opened his mouth.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Pretty
It's
much.
like, good
man.
Lord, he's dropping
Yeah.
one almost every freaking, minute and a half or so. Just like, I didn't know a man could drop that. It's like, good Lord, I mean, this were a war zone, man. All these bombs he's dropping here. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, Curtis, he's almost as bad as Mexicali, huh?
I was getting ready to say that.
That was a one-time thing.
I know.
I probably would have said worse than that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. No doubt. Me too.
I love June there. Normal use of my
Yeah.
favorite adjective.
Sentence enhancers.
Yeah, June. That's. I'm sure
Is it an
June and I could
adjective,
trade
a
a
verb,
few.
or interjection?
Oh, boy. Yep, sentence enhancers. And Mexicali was sure using them.
Yeah. Well, when a guy runs out of tequila, he gets a little salty,
Right?
Just a little.
That's why you got to keep more than one thing on hand. You run out of tequila or something, go to the rum, the whiskey. Backup plans are important, ladies and gentlemen.
What were you drinking New Year's, Jimmy?
Oh, shit, I put it away. That Kentucky bourbon that Mary Page sent me 2 years ago.
You still
I saved
got
that thing for. I don't drink that much, brother. I don't.
Well, he
I
only
really
drank
don't.
that much. So.
I like tequila is what I like.
Yeah, after a while, that tequila will get you.
I like my
not
tequila
me.
in a form of margaritas.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much I drink. It's just a nice, even buzz for me. I don't get drunk anymore. I can drink pretty much all night long. Now that it doesn't matter, I can hold my liquor.
Yeah. Now that you don't have to get up and go to work tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah. Now.
You go to work for me tomorrow as soon as you dig my truck out.
Yeah.
Well, I'll skip the digging, but I'll go into work for you, but I ain't going to dig no snow. No.
I'm with you on that one.
I usually don't either. I usually clean the windshield and just put it in 4-wheel drive and drive through it.
It'll blow off, right?
Well, yeah, that's the Curtis way of getting out. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
You feel bad for the people driving behind you,
Hey.
but it gets the job done.
Yeah. I like to be the guy going down
Exactly.
the highway with all the
Yeah.
snow blowing off the
No,
top.
Curtis just tried the dune buggy.
Testing
Hey,
everybody's tires behind him.
Oh,
Like,
my
all
God.
right, here's
Bug.
let's see how well your tires work.
I've had the buggy out a few times in the snow. It's pretty fun. Dress warmly, though.
I bet it is. Yeah,
Or the bug.
I bet.
That one's not, it's fun, but it's not as much fun as the one that doesn't weigh nothing. You go to the high school parking lot and spin donuts.
There's a lot of dune buggies right here, Curtis. I think every other house has a dune buggy in the yard.
The dune buggies or sand rails?
Well, I call them dune buggies.
Probably both. You just got to change the back wheels or back tires.
We get a big snow around.
They're always flying. They're flying around all the time.
We ever get a big snow around here in Council Bluffs, you start seeing the razors and the Arctic cats going around left and right. Those side-by-sides start coming out a lot more frequently.
You start seeing them with tracks on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them even put like change on their tires, like some trucks and all that, which I feel like, why would you put change on them? Aren't you supposed to just get tires that are meant for all terrain anyway? But
No, the studded tires.
I guess that's true. That too. But I haven't seen those too many times here. We've gotten a couple of dustings here, but boy, and so far the snow has been light. And you know what? Honestly, I'm not going to complain about it because the moment I do, that's when Mother Nature drops a big one on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the first snow I've got. It's yesterday. It's already January.
Same here.
We usually have snow by Halloween.
We used to get that. Not so much anymore, though, nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to get a lot of snow too, but we ain't had a good amount of snow in probably 15 years.
Mm.
I know Austin's a big football fan, so let me test your knowledge here, Austin, or not knowledge, but your prognostication ability here. We're approaching halftime at Vikings and the Lions. Okay.
Oh boy.
What do you think the score is right now?
I'll be honest. I haven't even kept track of it thus far because being a Packer fan, when it comes to the Vikings and the Lions, well, actually the Lions, I don't dislike them because I used to always say if the Lions, I would make fun of Vikings and Bears fans because the Bears, it's like you have one Super Bowl to our 4. Sit down. Versus the Vikings, it's like you've lost the Super Bowl as many times as we've won it. But the Lions, it's just
okay. But hey, just for fun.
Yes, but just for fun.
Just for fun.
Boy, this is hard because both
what do you think the score is right now?
I'm going to say, well, it's in Detroit, I believe. So I'm going to say, let's say Detroit 17, Minnesota 14.
Well, you're really, really close. Detroit is winning 7-3.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, wasn't it the
7-3?
Wasn't it the Vikings that bought a whole bunch of tickets and then basically gave them to their fans so that they could get a bunch of fans in the stands?
Yeah. It is a defensive battle, Austin. And I didn't see that one coming.
No. I mean, granted, both defenses are good, but I didn't expect to only one score there. But, man.
7? Yeah. Now, Minnesota does have the ball, and they're driving with okay. Yeah, they're down to the 14-yard line with 28 seconds left.
I presume
so they're at least going to get
14?
Yeah, Detroit 14.
Left in the half.
So they're at least going to get a field goal, and then it'll be 7-6. Wow. But yeah, I get you. I get you with the Packers and the rivalry and all that. I miss that about not really having a team right now, So, but yeah,
the old Packer Bears rivalry didn't go well for us. That's for dang sure. I'm sure Rico's loving that, but
oh, I'm sure he is. Yeah,
but
we won't even talk about how your old quarterback Aaron Rodgers, how he did in New York. We won't bring that up.
Ooh, man. I mean, hey, we still got a second round pick out of it. I won't complain.
Thank God for that.
I say we got a second round pick. I think with a third round pick as well. So it's like, hey, you know what? Thank you very much for your business. He's your problem.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Well, hey,
He was no Favre, that's for sure.
Oh, well, yeah. I didn't want to change it to football, but I just thought I'd throw that by you and see if I was very surprised at that score. That's all,
That surprises me too. I'd have never guessed that.
Well, the Broncos-Chiefs game surprised me.
Yeah.
I don't.
That one I take with a grain of salt though, because Mahomes didn't play. But
nobody did. Pacheco set out.
Right.
Chris Jones set out. And the best part is it left the Bengals at home.
Yeah, since the
oh boy,
what are you doing?
Burrow's probably the best quarterback that doesn't get to go to the playoffs now.
Yeah,
this year
got the best stats,
which is a bummer because the Bengals' offense was amazing. The Bengals' defense is just that atrocious.
Okay, they kicked a field goal, 7-6.
I can only imagine the things Kenny East screaming at the TV right now.
Oh, Kenny! Oh my God, Kenny! I forgot about him. I forgot about Kenny. Wow. Yeah. Well. Anyway, okay.
I think he's just happy they don't have Kirk Cousins on that team anymore. He did not like that guy.
I could hardly tell. Oh my.
Kind of a strange quarterback situation though for Minnesota in general though, because I mean, Darnold comes in and does what he does, and they just drafted that JJ McCarthy from Michigan this past draft, so they kind of got. It's kind of like, well, what do you do now? You got to play the kid at some point, but do you with the way Darnold played this year?
Yeah, well, I would ride the hot hand myself. You know, I would.
I don't think that hand's going to stay hot with Darnold forever anyway.
Probably not.
I think he'll be kind of like Cousins, where what's Cousins going to do now besides ride the bench for $20 million?
Yeah, what a shame. Wow. Oh,
got a big payday.
Yeah, he did. He did. Well, anyway.
Big old dog.
I'm glad I got to see your dog, Curtis.
Yeah. I was waiting for June to say something.
That's not mine. That's Mama's.
Yeah, I'm sorry, June. I'm sorry, June. I just know that, you know, Austin's a big Packer fan, and, you know, I thought he would have something to say about the Vikings and the Lions. I'm sorry. I apologize. Don't cuss at me. Don't cuss at me, June.
I'll admit, I'm terrible on it, too. I could literally, I mean, we could sit and we could have a stream talking about football for hours and hours, and I would not run out of things to say. I'm not going to lie.
I agree.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree. So, you know,
Football
I took 10 minutes, Jim. Come on.
Anyway, I will shut up on something. Otherwise, I'll get going.
Yep. Again. Football gone. No more.
Now on to our basketball portion.
Yes.
And baseball.
How about them New York Knicks? How about them? You know, they're doing great. Oh, boy.
It's Iowa. You got to talk wrestling in Iowa.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah.
And not wrestling half beaks either.
Nah. Join us next for our swordfish on guard fencing.
Hey, that'd be fun to watch.
That would be, actually. Swordfish.
Yes, it would.
Who will win?
Swordfish fencing.
Wow. Boy, if I could train a couple of fish.
Right?
Why don't you work on that, Curtis?
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah, he's working on this like he's working on those angels for Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
After that,
them things are harder than hell to find.
I've only found those angels one place, and every time they're sold out. And I'm on their email list, so the bad parts, I'm probably going to get some that are the size of a quarter.
For some.
And then I got to grow them out.
Well,
He said he wants me to breed them, and he only wants like 40 or 50. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem.
I just got to find them.
I tell him, okay, I've got them, Jeremy, but you've got to come get them.
Oh, boy. Well, he probably would.
If I got 50 angelfish from him, I'm going to go to Maryland and hang out and go swimming in a 4,400 or something.
I mean, heck, we know a guy.
Yeah.
So some of those fish there, I mean, I hear they're for the most part kind of docile in the water, although too for the most part there. So I mean, you probably could swim with them without getting nipped too much.
Yeah. Could always be like Chris Biggs, who put all the shrimp in his swimming suit and got in the pool with Big Ridge.
No.
I
love nothing more than to go in that pool someday with those arapaima and such. That'd be crazy.
They came around him, but they didn't do anything to him, and he had like a half a pound bag of shrimp in his swimming suit.
That's just crazy, ain't it? Those big old fish, like what? They grow like what, 10 feet?
Yeah.
Wow.
10-foot fish. I mean, heck, I'm 6'4". I mean, a fish that's bigger than me, I mean, usually I get once the fish starts getting close to my size or bigger, pardon me if I get a little skittish. I'm not used to fish being as big as me. Even when, I mean, you know, you deal with rainbows and tetras that, you know, are maybe as big as your finger, or even a Nambu is only half of me, what supposedly once they max out in the wild. But 10 feet is just, it's hard to fathom almost unless you actually see it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when I was a kid, my grandpa took me to this guy's farm, and he had a huge pond. I mean, I was a kid, but I know it was big. It was deep. It was like 30, 40 foot deep in the center. And I jump in there, you know, I'm swimming around in the shallow. And all of a sudden, these bullhead catfish start nipping at me, you know. About a foot long, you know. And I'm in there, and farmer's standing there laughing at me, and my grandpa said, "Oh, Jimmy, you'll be all right. You know, don't worry about it." I was cool, you know, but the farmer decided to be a smart ass, and he goes, "Yeah, there's only a couple in there that are about 5 foot long."
Well, as long as you don't deal with a gulper catfish, you're probably good.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was lying or not. There were some bigger ones in there.
Well, I know, like over here at Farlington Lake, I know they put a bunch of some divers went in there off the side of the dam. They were looking for something. They had cameras, and they were taking pictures of big catfish in there that were the size of Volkswagens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, I know they can get big. I know that, yeah. My grandpa, what a guy.
Jimmy's new sport will become noodling.
Hey, I've done that.
Noodling, that sounds like a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You got to watch doing that. You reach in one of them holes and you get a hold of a water moccasin.
Or a snapping turtle.
Ooh.
Or a snapper.
Yeah.
Especially I've run into a few of them in my lifetime. Yeah.
Did you know June has a gopher catfish?
A gopher catfish?
Gulper?
Oh, gulper. I did not.
I didn't know she had one.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
Those
Where you got that one, June? In your bathtub?
Almost would need that for as big as that. Don't they get a few feet themselves?
I don't know.
I don't know how big they get. I don't think they get as big as red tails per se, but I want to say they still get at least a couple feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely would be one that, man, if they got too big, like to my side, it's like I probably wouldn't want to swim with them knowing how wide they can open their mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the key thing right there.
Yeah, it's Lori that has it, not June.
Oh, Lori.
All right.
Okay.
That's what I get for reading with my good eye. I believe.
Yeah,
Lori.
God. Yeah.
Lori's got
a long time since Yeah, she's got a swimming pool. Yeah.
Yeah. I can mix up fish with Lori anytime. All right, June. just go over to Lori's and you guys can have what you want.
Yeah.
We'll see how many that gulper eats.
I want to say, like, I mean,
now
you have fish near their size, they can fit about 2 of them in there. Like they can eat.
I'm looking that up.
Oh, there's plenty of gulper catfish feeding videos. I can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
It's strange just seeing how they eat and then like just how they swallow the fish whole, and then you just see their gut stretch out from it. It is a weird thing. It's fascinating, but it's fascinating in a weird way to me.
It's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
Exactly.
We'll say it's like a snake where you can see it eating and then it's going down his body.
Yep.
you just look at it and you try to process, like, how? Like, that fish was as big as you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few pictures of them with the big old swelled bellies. Yep.
Hell, they'll eat their own kind too, I think, if they fit.
Probably.
I've learned with any fish, if it fits in their mouth, it's probably at some point that's where it's going to go.
They're little hogs, I bet.
I believe it. I believe it.
Oh, a serious question.
A serious question. What the heck? Wow.
I'm not good at giving serious answers, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
I can take serious questions. I just can't give too serious of answers. Why so serious?
Well,
14 inches? That's it? For a gulper? Huh.
I thought they got bigger than that.
I know. I thought they at least got two.
Me too. Yeah.
About 2 or 3 foot.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Well, Nathan, my somewhat serious answer would be that, everybody knows that the bigger the tank is, the easier they are to maintenance. So I think you'd be going in the right direction with that.
And he's wanting to set the room up for breeding, to breed more, so.
I'm going to tell Nathan he won't like it, but the easiest way is to put them on end, and you can cram a whole bunch of tanks in there if they're on end. But
well, that's true too.
If you want to see the long view of it, then you're going to take up some real estate.
Yeah.
Something I would also highly recommend is have multiple sources of filtration. Don't just do mechanical. Don't just do, well, I try to stay away from the chemical myself. But chemical, biological, like I will either have like a, I do have a sump on one of my tanks, but otherwise hang on the backs, canisters, and every single one of my tanks also have a sponge filter. I know some people don't like them because, let's be real, they're not the prettiest of things to look at, but
I run mostly sponge filters.
I also do sponge filters because I'm like,
so do I.
Sponge filters, under gravel, and box filters.
Yep. I don't have an under gravel.
You won't find it. I've got 2 hang-on backs, no sumps, no canisters.
I have 1, 2, 3. Once I get my 150 going again with the crossover, I'll have 4 with canisters. But actually, no, 5, because my 1 corner tank of my figure 8 puffers has a canister as well.
Well, I've got a canister. I've got an ADA canister. It's a flower pot.
I have 2 FX6s, an FX5, and a pond grade filter on the 510 here. That does about $1,200 on its own there because figured that was cheaper than buying 3 FX6s.
Yes.
Yeah, see, when I bought the Fisher mount, I had probably 15 canisters. I gave every one of them away. I had 2 sumps. The sumps I turned into other tanks.
I think it was Nathan that asked the question initially, but something also sponge filters that I also like about them, that when I keep the sponge, another reason why I also like to keep sponge filters is even when you're, like, say if you have a power surge and such, it still helps give you some biological filtration when your hang on the backs aren't running or your canisters, whatever else you may use. There's a reason why, they may not look pretty, but I will have a sponge filter and some of them even 2 or more in every tank I run.
Yeah, see, my 310 I had 4 of them in it.
Yeah.
They're the really big ones.
Right.
Yeah, for the 240s, I had 3. I never set that 115 that Curtis has got up, but.
Only other thing I would say with filtration too, it's something I also like to do is, like, say I have a 55-gallon tank, don't just get the minimal filtration and such. Like you see, like if you, for example, put on a hang on the back filter and like say you do C-Chem, like hang on the backs, that's pretty much all I do is C-Chem nowadays. I don't buy anything else if I do hang on the back. But instead of getting like Tidal 55, bump it up a level, go get the Tidal 75, or if you want to go crazy even on like a 55 or something, get the 110. And the more filtration, I say, as long as you're not impeding the fish's ability to swim and such, and you're not creating too much water flow, which I guess kind of goes to the first point. I mean, I always like to say there is no such thing as too much filtration. And the more filtration that you have keeping your tank clean, the more you just get to admire them and do all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Redbeard made it.
Yeah, I see that.
Jeff came.
Yeah, there he is.
I've seen that fella. Hopefully Jeff got his angels. He was asking me about a breeder that had some beautiful red koi angelfish while I was in Omaha. Hopefully he got those just fine.
He got his whole fish room redone too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
You got to go.
You got to check that out.
Watch some videos and stuff as he redid the floor and put a floor drain and the whole 9 in it.
Everything.
Like 40 outlets in there.
Yep. Looks great.
It's
Looks
nice.
great.
I wish I could put 40 outlets down here. I would love to run that many tanks if I could. But a house built and completed in 1893 is just not constructed to do such.
Yep. I don't know if he got the angels. I know he's got more than one kind. He's got lots of angels, but I don't remember which ones they are. He's got some blacks. I know he's got blacks.
Well, you got blacks.
Yeah, I got blacks.
I got blacks.
When I was in high school, I had a 55 full of black angels with some platinum angels, and whew, I need to do that again someday because, man, that was pretty.
He didn't get them.
Well, I'm sure he's got plenty. The man's got hundreds. I just saw him at one of the local fish stores here recently, and he said he still had plenty. He was asking if I would take he wanted to ask if I would take a dozen off him. It's like, if I had the space in my fish room, sure, I'd absolutely take a dozen. But, I mean, I guess the thing is I'd say, sure, I could do that, but it'd be kind of irresponsible of me. But
yeah. That's why Tractor Supply makes tubs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've done that a couple times. Like, I got nowhere to put them, so drag out one of the tubs.
I have a tub, but it's designated right now for some of my wife's goldfish right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a couple of comets, and she's having me grow out some shabunkins for her, currently in a 40-gallon. Those shabunkins, though, I got to say, those are pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Messy is all belief, but, man, they are still pretty once they get bigger with all the coloration on them.
Brian and Cheryl's angels are huge. That last live stream
Nice.
she was on, she was sitting by the tank and that angel swam up next to her face, and it was like that tall. I mean, it was good size.
Ooh, blue Pinoy veils. That sounds pretty. Blue Philippines are probably one of my other top 5 favorite angels. That's got to be one of them up there. Blue Philippines are gorgeous.
20 talls or 20 longs? 20
I'll
talls.
always-
20 talls don't take up as much room, Nathan. Gain 6 inches on every one.
If you ask me personally, I would vote long because it's a bigger footprint in terms of length. That's me. But, I mean, 20 talls, too. I mean, I guess if you have something like smaller fish like live bears, I don't know, endlers, limias, stuff like that, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. But
Depends on what you're doing.
yeah, exactly. It depends on what you're doing. But
If you're doing angelfish, you don't want the long. You want the tall.
right.
Right.
But, yeah, if he's doing live bears, wouldn't matter.
Yeah, if you're doing angelfish, then I guess the tall because of their body shape. But,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get more like those torpedo shape, I call them torpedo shaped, like the livebearers and such, then then I'll always go 20 longs, bigger swimming footprint then.
Well, I know one thing, Chris, these
Right.
Gadads are going crazy.
It's good for you. The lion's eye?
Yeah.
Those are hard to find anymore. They used to be like super common. And
Yeah, they are just, that male, he's been chasing females like crazy. They're getting over there and doing that little shimmy next to each other. And
do a little
surface skimming and all kinds of shit.
oh yeah, I forgot that's in that tank right in front of you.
Yep. So are the green dragons.
Yeah.
What's the general? How long will that male be fanning eggs for?
Same as any other bristlenose. Probably less.
So
than
he's been in there about 4 days.
Yeah, he's probably about ready. 5 to 7 days.
In both caves.
The bad part in a planted tank is them little suckers are going to come out at like a half-inch long.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go foof into all your stuff, and you ain't going to see them.
Yeah, it's all right.
Till you get them on the glass eventually.
Well, look at when we first put them in the tank. Boom, right there on the front glass.
Mm-hmm.
And they still do that every now and then. I'll look up and there's one stuck right on. A male will be stuck, or a female will be stuck right there on the glass. They're about, I don't know, 5-6 inches long now.
I'm going to have to take Austin some. I only got about 60 of them right now.
60 of what?
Green dragons, long fin green dragons.
Is that like a cichlid or something? I'm sorry, I'm blanking on them a little bit here.
It's a pleco.
Pleco.
Oh, it's a pleco. Here's my only problem with pleco. I do like plecos. My favorite, probably personally in terms of looks, I love the king tigers myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a leopard frog pleco, I guess, currently. I think that's the only pleco I have right now. But I have put them in other tanks before, and I don't know if it's just stupidly bad luck or whatever, but I have tried bristle noses, king tigers. I've done just basic ones as well. I had a sultan pleco once upon a time that was super pretty, but he was kind of an a-hole, unfortunately, and took out a good number of my rainbows in the 240. And that's just kind of made my problem. I would get plecos, and I mean, I give them the wafers and such, and like even some meaty or vegetation and such to try to all sorts of things that suit their appetite. And I've not had luck keeping them off my fish is the problem.
Huh.
Green beans, lots of them.
Huh.
I guess green beans is something I've never did try. But.
Get the French cut.
Yep.
Because if you
These
get
green dragons of mine, they'll wipe a can out in no time.
Yeah.
So will these goldfish down there. I'll tell you what, give them some peas and such, and oh my goodness, they go to town on them.
Mm-hmm.
Give them some duckweed.
Oh, they eat that stuff like ice cream. I got a 46 bow front that I have it soaking up a lot of stuff with a spotted Congo puffer, and yeah, it goes like wildfire in there. And to keep it from absolutely taking over the top of the surface, I drop it in there, and I mean, 2 days later, you wouldn't know I put anything in there, if that.
Well, yours is hard water too, right?
Definitely on the harder side, yeah.
Yeah. In the Midwest, I think all of us have that. Lots of calcium and everything in it.
Yeah.
So you got to watch what kind of like sponge filters you get, or the calcium will plug up the air inlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem occasionally.
Yeah.
I have to run something down mine every now and then.
Mm-hmm. I use a lot of those reusable air stones.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have a little cup and I take them all apart, throw them in there and fill it full of hydrogen peroxide and let it sit for a day and rinse it all out. Use them again.
My trick has usually been vinegar, since it's the organic thing, and that's worked for me so far. But man, that vinegar smell always kind of gets me a little bit too. I'm not a huge fan of it.
I did that in the garage to a tank because I didn't want to do it in here. And my wife came home and opened the garage door. She came in and she said, like, what the hell did you do in there? I was just like, oh, whoops. I used about 2 gallons of vinegar.
Yeah, it's like when I resealed that tank, that silicone smelled like vinegar.
Yeah.
My wife's like, what the hell are you doing in there? Resealing a tank. Why does it smell like vinegar? Well, that's just what the damn silicone smells like.
That's great when it's a big tank. Wow. So you got to stick your head clear down in there when you're. That's awesome.
Yeah, that one glass 240 I had to reseal was that way. Oof.
Good times.
I think Jeff had a question at one point. I forgot what it was, though.
He wanted to know if you're going to go to the spring Quad City.
Oh, Quad City. Probably, yeah. I mean, I think we were once talking about the April one is always kind of the big egg one. I always tend to go that one because, my birthday is in April. So that's kind of like my wife's birthday present to me. Like, all right, knock yourself out, get what you want, as long as you get a tank for it.
I want to say that date in April is Peplin's birthday, too.
Is it?
I think so. I think that's what they said. That Sunday.
I forget. What was the exact date for it? Or April
6th?
6th. About 2 weeks before me. I was on the 19th.
That's about when I got married. And it was 70, just like we were talking earlier, it was 70 degrees the day before. So, you got to wash the car and everything good for the wedding. And got up the next morning and a foot of snow on the ground.
Yep.
April 21st, a foot of snow on the ground.
Jeez.
So much for shiny shoes and all that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, as long as it's white, it can shine your shoes. Just make sure there ain't no mixture.
Yeah.
All right.
April 6th, yeah.
I didn't know me and Brian's birthdays were so close. Huh.
That means if we all show up there, we can just harass the crap out of him.
Yep.
There you go. I know just what I'd get him for his birthday, too. We'll give him a New York Jets Brett Favre jersey, so that way next time we see well, I can wear my Packer Favre jersey. Kenny E will have the Viking version, and he'll have the Jets.
There you go.
There you go.
I think we were joking about that once at the Catfish Cataclysm a couple of years ago in Wisconsin.
That's hilarious.
Although Kenny E's still holding out for that Aaron Rodgers jersey. He's waiting for Aaron Rodgers to pull the full Brett Favre circle and go to his Vikes, although I don't think he wants that anymore.
You know,
probably
Zen,
not.
Zen, I'm not a streamer, but I would for sure pull my phone out when I saw Austin handing him that shirt. One of us would get it. One of us would catch it.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Oh, I'd give you a heads up. Be like, all right, boy, it's showtime.
Yeah. 6 guys pull their phones out.
Speaking of Kenny, he's probably really happy again right now, Austin, because the Vikings got stopped. The Vikings got stopped on 4th down at the Detroit 2-yard line.
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Ouch.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, he might have actually.
Seriously, I hope Kenny's okay for real.
I'll be back, guys. Gotta go throw a log on the fire.
Yeah.
He's a former Marine. I'm sure he's yelling some good stuff to him of support.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't know what I've been told. Darnold's arm is mighty cold.
That's pretty good. Maybe I'll have to call him after this and say, "What's your blood pressure?" I'm just curious.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I would. I definitely would. Yeah.
I have his number. I would. Or just
maybe you need to call Danny first just to, test the water a little bit. But
yeah.
I don't know what just happened there. Oh, my.
Call Danny and say, is there stuff still flying around the room?
Hope Hold the phone, Austin. Update.
Uh-oh.
Goff threw an interception.
Oh, pick six?
And the Vikes have it on the 2-yard line again.
Oh, jeez.
So now it's going to be first and 10 at the 2-yard line. So Kenny's happy again.
Well, that should have made his blood pressure just really bounce.
That pulse of it's got to look like a roller coaster right now, man. We're going on a bunch of hills here, man. He's going up and down. This be a fun roller coaster ride with we were looking at the heart rate.
This is why I've never bet on football, Austin, and I never will.
Games like this they're unpredictable.
Yeah.
Especially if the
crazy.
Vikings will know. Yes.
Every once in a while, when there's 45 seconds left and Mahomes is on the 40, I want to find somebody to bet that somehow that man's going to put it in the end zone.
Well, that's a good bet.
Usually the Kelsey, probably.
Yeah, he seems like let's wait till we're down and there's no time left, and then I'll play my A game the rest of this.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, he just gives everybody a head start, you see.
Yeah. Like, my brother's a huge fan. I mean, you can tell his house when you drive down the street. It's got the flag out front, and he's one that I'll call when the Chiefs are getting smoked and say, "What are you doing?" And I always get back some sailor talk,
Chiefs have always been a team.
Well, I don't know what I don't know what happened in this game. Now the Vikings got the ball at midfield. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know.
I think
maybe they intercepted the ball further down the field and Yahoo messed it up or something. I'm not watching the game. I'm just watching the update on Yahoo. So
the little box.
You've piqued my interest. Now I got to look on the ESPN app at the GameCast. Be like, well, what the heck? How does that transpire?
Jorge, good to see you.
Well,
he must have thrown it downfield, I guess. I don't know. Anyway,
ball
whatever.
47. Well, what the who? At the Detroit 2.
Yeah, he must have thrown a deep pass that was intercepted, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he threw a long pass, and that got intercepted. So yeah, that's why they're almost by midfield. Okay.
All right. Okay.
I was beginning to think that cigarette you smoked earlier might have been something funny there, Jimmy.
I know. I don't know. My doctor still recommends it. That's all I can tell you. What can I say? I can't keep up with June, though. Nobody can keep up with June. So. Oh, there's Mexicali. How you doing, George?
Yeah.
You potty mouth. I'll tell you what, that guy.
I don't care. I enjoyed that stream because there's things. Things that were said that needed to be said. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I talked to Curtis earlier today on the phone, and believe me, it's not exactly what you thought the show was going to be about and everything, but I was entertained by it, and I appreciate your honesty about the whole thing. So
wow.
I'll commend you for that.
Jeff Kane's getting you too. He says it's a little stronger than he thought. Now Jorge's going to give you a kiss.
Oh my gosh.
Jorge's going to give you a kiss with that same mouth. Woo-hoo.
Well, this is what happens, Austin. We're going right along. Everything's great. And then everything just goes right down the crapper.
Well, those are the most kind of fun streams, though, is that, it's all peaceful. Oh, then all of a sudden everything just goes to hell in a handbasket.
I wouldn't have it any other way, Jimmy.
But as far as that kiss goes, Mexicali, I will make sure I wash my butt that day. Okay, there you go.
I knew something like that was coming.
Was smelling something funny, like something like rubber burning or something. Went out the back door, and my neighbor's out there loading his outdoor wood burner.
With what, a
I'm
tire?
Yeah, like 4 of them.
Nice.
Got flames coming out of the top of it. As well, it's heating the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're stinking up the entire freaking neighborhood, too.
Everyone tries to drag Jimmy P's OnlyFans to the mainstream. Oh, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I misread that for a moment, and I thought he was mentioning like a Jimmy P's fan only,
Fan only.
or fans only, whatever that site's called. I misread that. That's so hard for a moment ago. I thought to be like,
Yeah,
the
I
hell
did
are
too.
you
The
talking
first,
about,
it was like Jimmy P doesn't have an Only's fan, and then it was like, oh, Only fan, the singular one.
I was sitting there wondering for a minute, like I had to misread that, and I misread it again because I was
Then
like,
this is a geriatric version.
what the heck?
It's a geriatric version. God.
I can hear you guys talking. What the hell? Geriatric. Okay. Okay.
Welcome back, Jimmy. Good to see you, man.
Hi, Austin. How are you? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. We were only talking about OnlyFans with Mr. Jeff Kane here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to
Oh,
tell.
boy.
We need to get Jeff Kane to go to that fish store you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which one? I'm trying to remember. I talked a couple of them when we took Fish Fix. That was it, right?
Yeah, the fish fix one.
He'd love it. I've yet to see a person go there that I've told about it that goes there and come out unhappy.
Well, you
Yeah,
can't
no,
pay
Jeff,
nothing
he'd go in
better
there and
than
buy
that.
half the store out.
Yeah.
That'd be impressive considering how many tanks he has right now. That man's got to have like over 150 tanks in that store right now, at least. Probably going to be more. He's setting up a little beta station too here.
No.
How many tanks Jeff's got?
Oh shoot! I know Jeff's got quite the amount.
Like 80 or 90, something like that. That's one thing. Like your wife, she'll do the betas and let you do your thing.
Mhm.
Mine, especially if we're long distance away, we were in Des Moines and I was looking at something and she says, just get it. Because I'm going to hear about it for the next week. You should have got it. And it's 10 hours away, so now you can't get it. So just get it and shut up.
Sometimes that's it with me, but I've also sometimes been talking about, I got to be careful on it though too, because there's a lot of fish that I'd like to try and all that. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'd like to give certain catfish a try, like a red tail or something at some point. Do I have the tank though for a red tail in the long term? Absolutely not.
No.
But
Yeah.
like, I don't even think my 510 here would be able to house one properly, because it's only 39 inches front to back. So, and those things grow
Right.
about 4 feet big, 5.
Yeah.
But there's a lot I would like to keep that it's just like, wouldn't it? She's sometimes the one
Cheryl.
that reminds me of like, hey, remember, and it's that is my thing sometimes that I always have to remind myself is that, hey, they're small now, but
They do grow.
yeah, that they grow, and they grow usually faster than you think.
Or they multiply.
Yeah, or they multiply. Oh man, my Lemias are breeding like rabbits.
Which ones
I
do
got
you
mine too.
Oh shoot, the guy only gave me like the scientific name, and dear Lord, I can barely pronounce some of the simpler names. I'm not even gonna
Perugier.
try. I think I got it in my gallery somewhere here. I need to figure out what the heck they.
I don't have a basement, Maury. I don't have a basement.
It's like a tiger limia or something.
Oh, the Limia Islay.
Yeah.
Say again?
Limia Islay.
Possibly.
Yeah, that's the tigers.
Yeah. That's what I have.
Little silverfish with stripes.
Yeah, mostly silver, yeah, with black stripes.
Yeah.
Well, mine are kind of brown.
Mine are definitely more silver. He also gave me this, like, all silver, no, mostly silver-ish, like, Limia, and it's like they got, like, little pearl scales or glitter on them, too, and, whew, now those
are they about
pretty.
Are they about 3 inches long?
Yeah, 3 inches sounds about right.
Yeah, those are the Perugier.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now in my 50 corner over there. Yeah, yeah, I'd say they're about 3.
Yeah, they got that bluish silvery shimmer on the side.
It is pretty.
You got those, Curtis?
Yeah, I got those. And the males have a yellow tail. I just had to remind myself.
No yellow tails on mine.
Yeah, like my Limia tigers, they're kind of a brown with the yellow belly and the black stripes.
And the ones that are the best looking are the ones that breed the slowest.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, because the humpback Limias, they're silver with the black stripes, but they got yellow fins. And shoot, in a year I get about 20 babies, maybe. They're going to go outside in the tub this year. That's the secret.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I had these other ones that are in this tub behind me, and I had 5 of them. Couldn't breed them in here all winter. Put them out in the tub. Next thing I knew, I had 60 of them.
Oh, yeah. I can understand that.
I had a picture where I took a screenshot of what specific kind of Limias they were. I'm trying to see if I can find it again here. I need to go through my phone here and get rid of some old photos. There's some stuff on here that I don't remember where the heck I took them at. I feel like that's the sign when you definitely need to start trimming down what's in your gallery on the phone or something, because it's probably a sign that it's been too long since you've done a little maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, shoot. There's still a comment.
I do that at work because I'll take pictures of parts or something, so I don't have to write down, the long ass part number.
Right.
I'll look in my phone and I'm like, why do I have 70 pictures from work?
Oh, shoot. My gallery right now has 1,814 photos.
Whoa.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
over that. Yeah, I'm sitting here like, good Lord.
Holy cow.
I could. No, there it is. Right there. One of them I got are this right there. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's the Perugier.
Yep.
They're from the same lake that the tigers are from. They're just on opposite sides of the lake.
Probably why they get along so well.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to go down there and collect them. Time for a new phone.
Yeah, I was just reading that too. It's honestly, I've been thinking about it and such because, anytime I try to record a video on my phone, I always just use my phone to record my videos and such. They're better than camcorders almost nowadays, especially if you get ones that have like the 3 lenses here. Yeah. But it's kind of crazy now that, phones have just become like a mini photography and videography tool. But been thinking about it just because of that way I can record higher quality videos and such, show fish's coloration and such. Right. I guess.
I like that because as soon as I sign in, like a new phone, and you sign into your Google account, I instantly get this thing that pops up and says, "You're almost full. Pay however much money for more storage." And I'm like,
No, I'll just go ahead and delete some of my old stuff.
Yeah, we're just going to go delete 90% of it. I'm not buying storage.
Right. That's right.
I'll delete everything that's older than a month old and be like, all right, that's the end of that. See you again in 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I say we call her good here. We've been going about 2 hours.
Man, time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
you should have been around for our New Year's stream. We started at 7:30, and I cut her down at a little after midnight.
Oh man.
And they kept going.
Sounds like they must have been a lot more interesting than me, man. I couldn't keep a conversation going that long.
That was just an anybody come up stream.
I would say
That was open panel.
I say, dang, you must have had a pretty good guest there if you can keep it going till midnight, man.
It was. I don't even know how many people did pop up because most of them had plans, so they just pop up for 10 or 15 minutes. And then they had to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was pretty fun.
Well,
yeah, we had Jeremy up here, and I couldn't tell you.
Jeremy. It's really good to see you again, Austin. For real.
Yeah, I need to get some videos out there. I got some stuff that I need to talk about down here. Before we go, I will say that because I know to start off I talked about Finley, so I will say because I know some people were asking if I was gonna ever get a new Fahaka.
Yeah.
I can answer that question now. I have gotten a new Fahaka since. It's
wow.
And the new Fahaka, well, I've only had it now for about 3 weeks, I think, at this point.
Okay.
It was like early December. It might be creeping on to about a month since I got it. It's not much bigger than what Finley was when I got her. She was not much bigger than a pea puffer, and tell you what, it's almost deja vu because if you go way back on my channel, you'll see that before I even ever put Finley in the 150 gallon, I grew her out in a 29 gallon tank, and I still have that same exact 29 gallon tank that initially I was growing out some of the Limia fry in, but then I had a 20 long open up, so I just put them in there, and fate behold, now the new little Fahaka is growing out in the 29 just like the original queen.
Nice. Well, that's great. That's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I hadn't seen you posted. You hadn't posted anything for a while, and I thought, well, I'll just shoot him a message and see if maybe he'd want to come on our live.
Yeah, I need to get back on. Yeah, I do miss it. But...
Thanks for coming, and I hope we didn't damage your reputation too badly.
No. Nobody could damage my own reputation more than me and my randomness and such on the streams. I mean, some of the things that go on my streams. Shoot.
All right. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for coming.
Yep. I want to thank everybody that came up and everybody that showed up in chat. Next week we are having, I believe, Dee Dee on.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, boy.
So be prepared for that one.
We're going to hear all about
it. Yeah, well, I'm glad you took her after me.
That'd be a hard act to fall.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad
her reputation is bad already.
We're just going to sit here and let Dee Dee talk. That's the whole plan.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's all you got to do.
We'll see you all in the next one.
You guys.